Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. Today I'll be showcasing something I've just created right here. I originally wanted to show it off weeks ago, but the problem that I kept having was the main function that I wanted it to serve just didn't work out with the current blocks that we have, but I've finally gotten it to a place where I think it's worthy of a showcase. I haven't named this is kind of like an unnamed prototype, but it's based heavily off of a fighter that I made for the carrier prototype that I showed in a previous episode. But this is its stripped down, most basic form. But it has a lot of really neat features. First of all, it has these 4 connector blocks. This is basically a core. This can be used for pretty much anything. You can attach, small attachments here, wings. I'll show you an example in just a second right over here. This is the same ship, just with these 2 side attachments placed on it, using these merge blocks. Basically, what I wanted to do was I wanted to create something that could be really, really modular. You only have to make this, and then all of a sudden you have all these possibilities open up with attachments. Basically, Space Corporation comes out with this universal adapter control area. Like, you can actually, we'll go inside over here, back through here. Now the downside is this is what it looks like on the inside. There's absolutely no way to see out without using a third-person camera. I'm hoping that they eventually allow us to attach camera blocks, but for now, third-person view is a lifesaver. So if I go out of this and I go back to this one, this is a very, very fast vessel. I tried to, add. Here, I'll go and I'll show the stats for it. I'll kind of fly it around a bit. Because the other problem that I had with the other ship was it just didn't accelerate very well. And if you'll notice, I haven't turned these off. You'll see that they kind of clip through a bit. If you want more realism, you certainly can do that. But for the time being, I really just wanted to, show you guys what this thing was capable of. So we'll go from there. See if I can find my way back. The reason I'm not moving my camera around a whole lot is because I don't want to spoil anything. Because what I'm about to show you next is the reason that I delayed this project for at least 2 weeks. I've been trying to get this to work. Maybe, actually, since we introduced merge blocks. And I was like, what's really cool? Mechs are really cool. Especially that articulated mech that I think it was Death's Head. Yes, it was Death's Head was the user who put those up. It was the Razor Rhino. And I was like, wow, these are really awesome. So I was like, I really wanted to make an articulated mech based off that design, but I wanted to do something else. I wanted to really, I don't know, make it more modernized for where the game is right now. So in the end, I came up with this. Now, these guys, they look a little lanky. They're a little weird. And the reason that they're a little weird is because I had to fit the merge blocks. So this is a colorized version of that same core that you saw over there, except now this thing actually has attachments placed on it. So up here in this connection here is a merge block, and down here is a merge block. I added these because I wanted to try to find a way. Like this is actually something that was a troubleshooting for me. You probably saw a little bit of spoilers over here, but what I wanted to show you guys is that this is flyable. You can fly it around. It is a little difficult to move around because of these legs. They add a lot of extra it cantilevers a lot on these legs, but as you can see, they do pivot around and move around just like Death's Head's Razor Rhino. I tried to make it, I didn't want to just, okay, I'm literally going to duplicate his design and add attachment points to it. I wanted to make it my own. So this, I've taken to calling it the Ogre because it has that one eye in the center. Originally it was going to be the Minotaur because it has like those hoofed legs, but I went with the Ogre because the green and all of that, and I just thought it was creepy enough looking. hope I didn't blow anything up by doing that. Nope, okay, I'm safe. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, you know, the grinders work, and I wanted to make it, because I noticed that Des had put the drills on the front, so I wanted to make something a little bit different, still powerful, still useful, but then I decided, well, if I'm going to do that, why don't I just make it so that you can change out the hands? So that's why those merge blocks are there, so you can actually completely change the hands out. They're completely modular. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take it apart. I'm going to show you guys what I was trying to do, and hopefully I'll also be able to show you the problem I was having. So I'm going to take off merge ventral first. Okay, it's moving just a little bit, but that's okay. That shouldn't be too much of an issue to get going. Now it might. Now it might, because I did that. But not to worry, I'm just going to copy it really, whoops, Control C really quick just to get it to stop moving, and then Control X. Okay. Another really cool thing, I love that you can copy rotors now. That makes this so much more viable in creative mode. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take off the top of the merge block. The top merge is this one. Hit off. It does cause some damage. It's almost impossible for me to get this not to cause damage. On occasion you'll get lucky, but that isn't really the issue that I was having. The issue I was having was much more severe. And that's, let's say I were to go ahead and turn on the ventral merge block, that's the bottom one, and I go like this, and I try to reattach these legs. Now, everybody knows that these merge blocks have magnetic force on them. So what ends up actually happening is the magnetic force becomes so strong and violent, you're about to see what's going to happen here. So it rips off the legs, and I was really mad because I finally got it working, and when I actually got to testing the detachability, like let's say it's an emergency, you got to eject the core, okay, fine, it ejects okay, but then when you're trying to, you know, let's say you got back to base, you repair up the little bit of damage that it does, and you want to get a whole new setup and get going, well, this is what's going to happen to you. You're gonna have lots of problems. It's going to tear itself apart, because I really wish that the devs would put in a slider. There have been some suggestions on Reddit to put magnetic force sliders to prevent basically what just happened, but in the last several updates they haven't done it. But what they did do in the last update, and I'm actually, you guys probably already saw what it is, but I'm gonna show you guys anyway, because you'll notice that this particular mech design is a little bit different. It looks, I mean, the other one looked kind of goofy. This one looks even a little bit goofier than that. This was my first ever design. I'll probably do some alterations to it, but this was the only way I could really get it to reliably, you know, take things apart and come together again. So basically, controls the same way, but there it is. That's the difference. This is, let me take control of this before it becomes really problematic. This is how this works now. This is designed in such a way that it uses a connector block instead of a merge block. So let me really quickly, come on. Almost, no, probably not going to work. But I'll just come out and I'll hit Control C, paste this over here, forget that one. I'll go back inside. And I was really happy with this, because what this does is they've, now that they finished the conveyor system, these connector blocks actually function properly. They have a slight, very, very slight magnetic pull to them. Once you get close enough, and I'll just kind of fit this over the sheath, look, it attaches itself. Kind of wiggle it around a little bit, jiggle it a little bit, and then you just go over here, you zoom in, you check that it's rotated properly on the setup, and then just like it was a landing gear, you'd hit P. Now this locks it. It really doesn't fly any differently than the other one. Maybe has a slight, slightly more problematic what is it, cantilevering because of the rotors, but it actually, you know, it comes together pretty well. It moves its legs rather well. You know, articulated, good stuff. But I like it because if you were to just hit P here, it doesn't really cause any problems. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just nudge this, or allow it to nudge me, so that it doesn't go flying anymore. Perfect. And then what I'll do is I'm just gonna start taking this apart. So I turn off the main merge block on the top. Hit C. Okay, so that's gone now. So now we have the top part is detached and the bottom part is still attached. This still does use the merge block, but it avoids the problem of ripping apart the landing, not the landing gear, we don't have landing gear, the legs. Now what this does sometimes, I've had a little bit of an issue, but I'm okay with it, where if I turn this off, and it didn't do it this time, which is good. It doesn't always do it, but sometimes it'll rip off the, I'm pointing as though you can see my finger, but the top merge block there on the piece that's floating away helplessly is sometimes breaks off completely. But then again, when you're jettisoning these, you don't really need to worry about it. You can always repair it if you're in the hangar, but previously really repairing the landing legs, just it wasn't an option. It was really annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to Control C on this, and I'm going to put it back together for you guys, just to kind of proof of concept this. That's not completely stopped. That's completely stopped. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm actually going to turn on my top merge block and my ventral merge block. Let's say you're in a situation where you need to, you know, quickly make your mech version. So you go like this. It attaches really without any severe violence, which is, again, doesn't always happen that way. I'm just getting lucky right now. The top merge block, when it reconnects, may be a little violent, but I'm hoping it isn't. So we're gonna go hit F. Now sometimes it's a little hard to line up here, but we're gonna go up like this. We may lose our initial camera work here. And we're gonna hit F. Reattach it. Boom. It is now reattached. Minimal damage maybe up to the front here, but now you're almost done. All you got to do is hit C, and again, it's very controllable this way because there are no rotors, so no mass is working against you. And then you go like this. You hit forward, hit back, hit C. The oh no. This happens on occasion. I knew I'd mess up a little bit of it, but I think you guys get the point. Go like this, connect it, go back like that, boom, hit F, go up, hit C, F, C, F, F, go up, and go down a little bit, and then back, and then line it up, back a little bit more. And there we go. We're starting to line up very well. And hit C a little bit more. Okay. Make sure things are lined up a little bit better. Sometimes this is difficult to do, but actually this is the hardest time I've had with it. There we go. Look, it's already starting to do it. Now this, if they could get merge blocks to have this level of magnetic control, what I could do is I would attach the legs to like a station landing gear, like when you get with Easy Start, and then I would just make them flush together because they would snap perfectly together, and then eventually they just go together fine without issue. But it's so violent when they come together. I really wish they would update the merge blocks to have this kind of magnetic force, just slight enough to where you get it in the right spot and it just behaves. It doesn't do anything aggravating or stupid. Hit P, you're locked in. I wish that was customizable too. It's a little aggravating, and you see it's a little bit off there, but I mean honestly you're not going to notice that when you're flying this thing around, and it's just really fun to use. So I'm gonna start taking this apart. Again, I'm not the greatest at controlling these because it isn't very easy to control. There we go. We're starting to take it apart. And then let's say you want to put these and these. There they go, they separated. Blowing it all up. It's just so fun to do, and yeah, they're very fragile, so if they take one missile hit, they're gonna blow up anyway. So it's really easy, like let's say you're flying around, you're getting really sick of this, and boom, hit P, it detaches, no issue, and now you can kind of run and gun a little bit. Wow, my aim is awful. There we go. There we go. So it's just fun stuff to do, and I'll probably, like, if there's enough interest, I'll go ahead and I'll put this on the workshop so that you guys can play around with it. But again, I want to thank Death's Head for actually sharing the articulated mech design with everybody. Without that, I really would not have been able to make this. But yeah, I figured I'd take it to the next level. I'd make it modular. And you guys can see that, you know, with a little bit of patience and, you know, a little bit of carefulness, you can put one of these together pretty quickly from the parts that are separated. And obviously, you wouldn't want to assemble this in free-floating space like I did. So, I mean, even with that kind of difficulty modifier added, it's still pretty cool. So, go ahead, leave a like if you like. And in the next episode, I might show off some of the nukes that have been put on Reddit. And what they can do to one of the capital ships that I've made. So leave a like if you liked, and see you next time, guys.